Inconsistent government policy is also another problem. Government policies goes a long way in affecting the agricultural production in a country, especially West African countries. Also, lack of research. Because of the illiteracies of the farmers, they lack enough knowledge on how to research on a particular product, how it's being practiced in some part of the world, what are the results, what are the benefits, what can they do to improve on their production. All these are lacking, and also we have political instability. Political instability is so common in some West African countries, a case study of Nigeria, where one government will not be able to follow the policies and some other programs laid down and set up by the previous government. Because of the change in the political power, then all this has its own way of affecting the agricultural production. Now, what are the solutions to the problems mentioned above? One, amendment of the land use decree. Amendment of the land use decree will help and provide, give opportunity to farmers to have enough land for their own farming activities. Two, establishment of agricultural banks. When government of those countries, especially in West Africa, establish some banks majorly for agricultural purpose, where the bankers will be able to offer the farmers the opportunity to get loan easily, whether in large quantity or small, to give out in order for the farmers to have something to buy some equipment and some chemicals for their products, for their crops, so that their production will be high. Also, construction of good roads that have good access to the farm, from farm to the market, will help the farmer to be able to convey their products, their output from their farms to the market in good condition and without getting spoiled. This is another solution to it. Provision of storage and processing facility is also very important. It will help the farmers to store and save some product, the output, from the time of harvest to the time it will be needed, and it will still be in good condition. Also, farmers should be educated. Most of the farmers that are illiterate need to go through some level of education so that they will have knowledge of what is really going on and how they can really practice their farming activities successfully and effectively. Also, provision of social amenities like stable electricity, provision of irrigation system, and some other things that will help the farmers to really improve on their production activities. Then provision of modern implements. Instead of using crude implements, modern implements like machines and some other good implements that will help them to increase the level of productivity is very important as well. Then provision of other of drugs and pesticides, they are also important. Then provision of research fundings. Some of the research fundings that can help them to to produce effectively and to produce in large quantity with good knowledge of all the systems and strategies to use in farming activities. All this will go a long way and serve as a solution to the problems mentioned above. Role of government in agricultural development. What are the roles that government can play in agricultural development of a particular country? One, provision of credit facility, like loan, credit and subsidies, with the help of agencies like in Nigeria. We have Nigerian Agricultural and Corporate Banks. This can help the farmers to have access to loan in order to use for their agricultural practices. So we have establishment of agricultural programs. Some agricultural programs can be organized for the farmers to educate them on how to go about their farming activities, whether to combat the rampant of some diseases or to concentrate on the farming, production of some products and so on. All these programs can go a long way. In Nigeria, we have something like Operation Feed the Nation in the previous years. We have something like farm settlement schemes. We have something like agricultural development projects. All these are some of the programs that a government can organize in a particular country. Also, we have the provision of farm input, like chemicals, that can be used to combat the spread of the pests and diseases on crops, like farm tools, like modern farm tools that can help the farmers to really increase their productivities, like fertilizers that they can use also to make their crops grow very well. All these are part of what government can do to help the farmers as their own contribution to agricultural development. We also have provision of storage and processing facilities. Government can embark on providing all this for farmers to save, to keep their products to the time that is being needed. Provision of social amenities is part of it, and provision of modern implement is also part of it. Then we also have the provision of drugs and pesticides, provision of research fundings, then provision of agricultural education. These are what government can do as their own part to contribute to the development of agricultural system in a particular country. We have agricultural policies in West Africa with special reference to Nigeria, because Nigeria is one of the big and good example to use for West Africa countries. Most of the attributes and the problems and challenges faced in West Africa are so common in Nigeria. Therefore, we are using Nigeria as a case study. Governments of various West African countries have tried to boost agricultural productivities in their own way, but in most cases, those efforts being put in place don't last long. Then what are the things that really affect them? They need to come out with some solution, and those are the reason behind some of the policies being set out to combat and encourage the agricultural productivities in West Africa. In Nigeria, for example, the federal government decided to embark on certain agricultural policies or programs in order to improve the level of agriculture in the economy. Therefore, we have some of the programs and policies that have been organized and set up in the past in Nigeria by the federal government in order to help the agricultural system in the country. One, we have Operation Feed the Nation. Operation Feed the Nation was set up by General Olusegun Obasanjo in 1976 to 1979. What are the objectives of setting up this policy? One, to increase the food production in the country. Two, to popularize agriculture, to make agriculture more attractive and more acceptable to young ones as well. Also, to provide food for all Nigerians, so that to make food more available for all Nigerians. And lastly, to facilitate agricultural development in all parts of the countries, so that no part of the countries will be left out. Whatsoever that is good, that can really grow as crops or any form of food crops or cash crops in all parts of the country should be planted in all parts, so that all parts of the country will be participating in agricultural activities. And whatever each part is producing, they will need to disseminate it around the other country. Agricultural development projects. This is another policy and program set up in Nigeria in the past. This program is co-financed by World Bank, federal government, and state government in 1975. The objective of this program is to boost agricultural production, also to construct rural infrastructure like roads in order to help the transportation of crops and other outputs into the markets, also to bring agricultural service closer to farmers and to make available farm inputs to farmers. These are the objectives of agricultural development projects that was set up in 1975. We also have Farm Settlement Scheme, established in 1959. The objective of this scheme is to reduce the rate of unemployment among young school leavers and make farming activities attractive to the youth in order for them to embark on farming activities. And with the help of these young ones, able-bodied men involved in farming activities, it will increase the productivities of the farming activity. Also, to teach settlers better farming practice, better than the old and traditional system of farming, in order to educate them on the new system of farming and better one. This is another objective. Also, to develop rural area infrastructurally, that is, to be able to set up some infrastructures in the rural areas and make life better in the rural area for the farmers, and also to improve the harvest of the settlers so that their harvest will increase. Those are the objectives of the scheme, the farm settlement scheme. Then we also have land use decree. The federal government of Nigeria in March 29, 1978, during General Olusegun Obasanjo's regime, promulgated a decree on land use in Nigeria. And the aim of the land use is to encourage proper productive and efficient use of the land. In order for the farmers to properly use the land and efficiently use the land for farming activities, that's one of the objectives. Also, to allocate the land and create opportunities for enterprising farmers to acquire more land for large-scale farming. Some farmers are so much interested in some crops and production of some food crops in a large quantity so that it will become a big business for them. To encourage this kind of farmers so that there will be much output in the market and harvest at the end of the year, such program is established to give them these opportunities. Also, to facilitate planning or formation of programs for a particular land use, and also to streamline and simplify the management and ownership of land in the country, so that it will not be hijacked by just anybody, or some set of people will not be misusing land, while some need land for agricultural production. Such land is, such decree, land use decree, was established in order to give opportunities to those that will use it. The decree was also known as Land Use Decree in 1978, or Land Use Act of 1978. The decree will enable farmers to have access to land for farming purpose alone. Let's consider some questions under agriculture. 1. The following are the examples of food crops except A. Rice, B. Beans, C. Cocoa, D. Yam. 2. Forest is important for the provision of dash: A. Food, B. Timber, C. Employment, D. All of the above. 3. Another name for peasant farming is dash: A. Subsistence farming, B. Plantation farming, C. Mechanized farming, D. Cooperative farming. Number 4. Agriculture provides up to what percentage of employment in West Africa? A. 10 to 15%, B. 60 to 75%, C. 30 to 45%, D. 90 to 95%. Number 5. Operation Feed the Nation policy was set up by dash: A. General Olusegun Obasanjo, B. General Yakubu Gowon, C. General Ibrahim Babangida, D. General Sani Abacha. Now let's try to answer the questions one after the other. The question number 1 that says the following are the examples of food crops except dash. The correct answer is C, which is cocoa. Cocoa is the only cash crops that we have among the options, which make the C to be the correct answer. Number 2 that says the forest is important for the provision of dash: A. Food, B. Timber, C. Employment, D. All of the above. The correct answer is all of the above. All of the above are the other options are correct. It about forest farming. Also, we have another name, number 3, another name for peasant farming is a subsistence farming. That's another name for peasant farming. And number 4, let's say agriculture provides up to what percentage of employment in West Africa? And the correct answer is B, up to 60 to 75% of the population in West Africa. That is the percentage of the employment from agriculture. And the last one that says Operation Feed the Nation policy was set up by General Olusegun Obasanjo, which made option A to be the correct answer for number 5.